Hi everyone, welcome to a special midweek update from Prime Lenses. I'm your friend, Ian. This week's newsletter had the theme of friends and what friends of mine are getting up to online and in the real world, and so I thought I'd put out a little midweek update as well to go along with the newsletter. We'll talk to Tom Oldham about an exhibition that he's organising with some friends of his in October. We'll talk to a friend of mine, Hannah, on Instagram, who is a film photographer with a really fun project idea. And then we'll round out with an update about photo walks that I'm helping to organise along with the makers of the photo app. That's taking place in September, and you can come along and hopefully make friends. So we'll kick things off with my conversation with Tom.
Hello, Ian.
Look who it is, out in the sun.
How are you?
I'm
Oh,
good.
yes.
It's that Tom Oldham off of photos and the internet.
How are you, mate?
I'm really good.
That brings me joy.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It's a gorgeous day up here. I'm very lucky.
I'm in Bournemouth, and it obviously looks like they paid their council tax because it's glorious here. Only for
Very
today, I
nice.
think there'll be a storm incoming.
There'll be a storm heading our way.
All right.
Let's do the rest of it as pirates. No, let's not do that. I will lose listeners by the ton. Tell me about the thing.
The exhibition,
Yeah.
it's really exciting, and it's kind of come out of nowhere, to be honest. So I've been sharing a studio called 28 Sunbury in East London in Shoreditch with a couple of friends, Ron Tamayan and James Hole, for quite some time. And we started, well, quite some time. I say it's sort of January this year, but I've known both of these guys for some time. And just very excitingly, an opportunity came up with Print Space where I got one of their emails through. This is a exercise in proactivity here, Ian, where I got one of their emails through, just their weekly, really good Print Space. They're amazing, very motivating. And I replied to the email saying, "Can I have an exhibition, please?" Because I'm doing a really nice thing with these two guys in the studio, and we're generating some beautiful portraits, and I just think we should. And they were like, "That sounds great. There's photo month coming up in October. Why don't we do it then?" I was like, "Print Space, photo month on first Thursday," which is a nice thing as well, where people walk around different sort of arty locations in East London on Thursday, on the first Thursday of every month. And the fluidity with which it came together was absolutely, I'm indicative of what should be a joyful thing, you know. And I didn't ask Ron or James about it in advance, and then just told them, by the way, because I knew there'd be some kind of pushback or something. So I was like, "So, by the way, I've committed to this. We're going to show some portraits in this thing." And they were like, "Okay, great." And it's a sort of celebration of this community and connection and in real life activity, which, you know, for all of the chat of AI going that way, there's got to be some pushback going that way in the other direction. And this, I really hope, is a great big celebration of that. And the connection that we've made, not just with our subjects, the people we're photographing, the people we've invited in, but also the connection we have amongst ourselves, and hopefully the connections we can create through something like a physical exhibition. You know, it's not going to be the same as scrolling past this work on Instagram. You know, it's really about coming out on October the 2nd, RSVPing to our Eventbrite and attending, you know, and showing up and joining in and coming to meet us, which I really hope some of your listeners will do. Ian, please sort that out. Thank you.
Yes, I do think what you've touched on there as well as like an AI pushback type of thing, I think
Hmm.
is very, very important because when I was in Germany and there was a lot of the great and the good sitting around at that Leica thing I was at recently, it was a lot of
Yeah.
like, well, there was this thing feeling, and I think it'll resonate with you as well, of because we're makers of things, the idea of more things being machine generated, if anything, makes human made things more valuable and more
Yeah.
important.
I
But
hope so.
I hope that too, but my worry is about access. There's a danger that when we say that, it's like that's fine, but then it will be that the robot made things are the only things that are free or accessible, and that actually then human made things will just go up and up and up in price. So I think the idea of you reminding people that like these creative events happen, a lot of them are just free. A lot of these things, you know, like, if you live near a city or can go to a city, a lot of art spaces are free. And so I say it out loud because go and support these places if you can, even just by showing up, let alone by donating money, but like just being there, bodies on the ground proves that there's value and interest. I think that's how we keep these things alive.
Oh, that was. I should be interviewing you, Ian. That was way better than what I had to say.
Well, we'll have to do it. I'm going to see if I can come down, by the way, and see if I can come down
Oh wow!
for the thing, because the stars are aligning on a few other. I could probably
Oh
make a
great!
trip out of it. Come see you guys. Come see
Yeah,
a few people. I think that would be really good.
yeah.
How long is it running for? How many days?
So the main emphasis is very much on the launch night
Hmm.
and us all celebrating together. And that's 6 till 9 p.m. on Kingsland Road in E2. But you can visit the store, I think, or the lab, for another week after that. You do have to press a buzzer to get in, but it's on the ground floor and very accessible. Just while the lab's kind of open for business, so you can just go in and have a look at my work, James Hull's beautiful work, Ron Tamayan's incredible work, his powerful work. So I'm really hoping if you're a portrait photographer, if you're able to get to East London, it will speak to you.
Well, thank you so much, Tom, and for giving me a bit of your bank holiday. It's not a bank holiday up here today. We're not doing one in Scotland.
That's another thing for Scotland to feel bitter about.
Exactly. I do worry. I've got because my degree is in Scots Lit, and I do worry if we ever got independence, what we'd actually create art about. Because
So,
a lot of it's motivated by hating, hating
yeah,
being
and
controlled.
reasonably so.
Sure.
Reasonably so.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's not go too deep on that because I will lose.
Well, no. So I was just thinking of this weekend in the news where Jeremy Corbyn was like very upset because Nicola Sturgeon's put in her book how much she didn't like him.
Yeah,
He was like, "Oh,
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I
He
thought we
was,
got
wasn't
on."
he?
He was. He was like, "I thought we
Yeah,
got
that's
on."
right. I really fell for him there.
Yeah, and it's not often I really feel for Jeremy Corbyn because sometimes, like he steps in it quite easily, doesn't he? But like,
Yeah.
fair play to him. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, poor guy.
yeah, poor guy. Nobody wants to be that guy.
No.
Um, bless you, Ian. Thank you so much for featuring us.
Oh,
I
pleasure.
really, really appreciate it, mate. Bless you.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a lovely rest of the day.
Thanks, Sunshine. See ya. Bye.
Next up, it's Hannah or at Han on Film on Instagram. I'll link to her in the show notes because describing internet handles spoken on a thing is just the absolute worst. But Hannah has been posting film photography again after a hiatus, after being away from it for a while. And one of the things I really loved was she posted this concept of a love letter to a camera that you really like. And I thought, well, that's very prime lenses. And so I contacted her and asked if it would be okay to have her on the show to talk to you all about it and then steal the idea and share it with all of you so that we can all take part in this practice. It's really fun. She said yes, of course. And so here's my conversation with Hannah. And what I thought was really interesting about what you were doing with posting again, aside from that you've been away and come back, which I always find interesting because you're probably more satisfied with what you're making now.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah, coming back with a more authentic version of you that's more meaningful to you, which I think is really interesting. But then additionally to that, the love letters to cameras just struck me as a lovely exercise to go through because
Hmm.
yesterday I spoke with the folks. I don't know if you know Silver Grain Classics, the magazine.
No, I don't actually.
I think you'd really love Silver Grain. Silver Grain is a magazine that exists purely for publishing analog photography.
Amazing.
Which is, yes, super cool, run by Karis and Marvin in Germany. They're a lovely couple, but Karis's day job is as a classical violinist. So when I spoke to her yesterday for the show and we recorded and said, we were going through that sometimes people bring their three lenses, her third thing wasn't a lens, it was her violin because it's an instrument, it's a tool that speaks to her and inspires her creativity. And then she picks up her camera.
That's truly beautiful.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? So your love letter to cameras kind of like coincided. I love it when and I didn't know this going into the conversation with her that what you were doing would tie in, but it kind of does. So
Yeah.
was your writing about your cameras like that in that way and phrasing it in that way because you'd been away and come back?
Yes. I think having that space to, I wasn't necessarily always reflecting, but subconsciously reflecting.
Hmm.
It was very therapeutic to then speak about my cameras and all that they had done for me back when I was shooting.
Hmm.
And it set up really nice groundwork for what I plan to achieve moving forward. Um, and I think starting off with my favorite camera, or at least the most sentimental camera, which was my mum's old camera,
Yeah.
was a really good way to start the series off. It made me kind of think about what capturing memories for the sake of the memory truly means, as opposed to finding something amazing for an online audience, which is what I used to do. And in coming back, that is the complete opposite of what I stand for right now. And having something so, I guess, uninspiring, if you want to say, as a
Mm.
point and shoot camera that's, £30,
Yeah.
but the true meaning behind that and what it's worth to me, and specifically to me,
Yeah.
is magical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my poor camera is broken. I still use it, it still works, but it's held together by tape. And I've had people say, why don't you just buy a new one? They're cheap. But the thing is, nothing will replace the fact that my childhood was captured on that camera. And I want to continue documenting my life going forward with that same camera.
Yeah, and that's beautiful because it's funny, the camera I made a story today and shot with my an old film camera that was given to me by my stepdad, and I talk about it on the show all the time. And again, it's the same sort of thing. Like, there are many like it, but this one is mine, and
Exactly.
it's the meaning in the tool that makes you pick it up, and especially with a film camera, because really film cameras are all just light-proof boxes.
Oh, yeah.
That's there's more in the film, and there's a little bit in the lens. I'm being a bit glib, but like fundamentally, a lot of the point and shoots are very similar to one another. So it really comes down to how it speaks to you, right, when you pick it up.
Precisely.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. So I'm going to encourage listeners and readers of the newsletter to write their own love letter to a camera a little bit, and to kind of think a little bit about their tool, reflecting on that little bit of practice that you did and kind of approaching the camera with that affection like you did. Is there anything you would kind of encourage someone to think about or to do when they're writing something like that? Because they don't even have to share it. This can be a thing that you just do for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would encourage it regardless of your intentions with it.
Hmm.
For myself, I started with thinking about when I first was handed the camera. I didn't think much of it, and admittedly, I didn't shoot with it straight away. It also sat in my drawer for quite a while. But once I shot my first roll, I was addicted, and now it goes quite literally everywhere with me. So I would think back to that first moment and what your initial thoughts were, and then follow it in almost like a linear pattern of how you've gotten to where you are and your mindset at the current moment. I'd also think about what makes that camera special to you specifically, not just the model, not just the way it looks or even the way it feels, but subconsciously and to the soul, what does that mean to you?
Oh, that's lovely. I really like that. It's like a relationship. I was thinking about the way you were describing that was a bit like, on wedding anniversaries when people say, "How did you meet?" Like
Oh, it is
it's
exactly that.
yeah, it's so good. You're going to have this fantastic story, for, like, in the future, for like your family. They'll gather around, and you'll be like, "Yeah, well, let me tell you about where I stumbled upon this camera and where I found it, and
Yeah, and I
how it
mean,
all."
in doing this, it also made me compile together my favorite photos that I've taken with this camera, and that time period stretches for years. To look back and see everything that I've taken with just that one camera that I
Mm.
didn't think was anything special was, wow, it blew me away, to be quite honest with you. It's gone everywhere that I have, and it's documented the whole process, and for that I'm truly thankful for that bit of plastic.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. And we're keeping this stuff out of landfill. as well, which is the other thing. Like
Oh,
just keeping those
absolutely.
things. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I love seeing that film is on the way back, and to help people see that, like you said right at the top, like don't need an expensive camera, you don't need an expensive thing. You've
No, no,
probably got one in a cupboard. It may even be, almost entirely mechanical. Just
exactly.
yeah,
I think
just
the
pick
only
it up.
time I've ever bought a camera from a shop, and even then it was an independent shop, that was my first camera.
Yeah,
Since then, I've either acquired them through family or friends, or I've perhaps bought them at auction houses or even car boot sales.
yeah. Oh,
You
fantastic.
find them in the most unsuspecting of ways.
Yeah, I found a Polaroid 1000 series, really old one, a couple of weeks ago that had a flash bar on top of it, and it was 20
Oh
quid in the
wow.
charity shop. And I didn't buy it, and then I thought about it, and then I went back and I stuck a battery in it, and it works. Like it still
Amazing.
powers up, still fine because the battery was in the film packs, and I had some 600 Polaroid 600 film packs, and I chucked one in. It's an empty film pack, but it was just to prove that it works. And yeah, I love it. I mean, it's a shelf camera, really. It's just I just wanted to save it from languishing in a charity shop until someone, until it eventually just gets chucked out because nobody wants it.
Exactly. Doing your bit, which yeah, I respect a great deal. And I think with film in particular, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Mm,
I think outside of even just taking photos, when you buy a camera and you open the back up and you see that it's spotless, dust free, you get that little heartbeat racing. When you put the battery in and it works, when you shoot your first roll and it comes out amazing. And it's just that continuing journey that I never get tired of. Whereas I find with digital, unboxing the camera is brilliant. Don't get me wrong; it's a process within itself, but it becomes quite monotonous
mm.
in shooting.
Yeah.
And with film, I've never found that to be the case.
No, it is a treat when you get it. I remembering I was talking to my wife about it the other day. We were like sitting around and just reminiscing over the old days when you used to get film, put it in a little true print envelope, send it off, and then if you go back far enough, they used to send you a roll of film back with your prints and with a prepaid envelope. So
Oh,
it kept this ball rolling that like it wasn't great quality film. It was probably Agfa or something like that. It was something cheaper, lower end. It wasn't Kodak or anything or Fuji, but it was film, and that just kept the ball rolling. Like they'd worked out that like they would do mail order prints, and you'd get your prints through the post, and you'd get your 4x6s, and if it hadn't worked properly, they had stickers that they used to put on the print to tell you what you'd done wrong. So to tell you like this was underexposed or you've left the lens cap on or stuff
oh,
like
I'd
that.
love that.
Yeah, and if you look online, you'll find probably pictures because also everybody, if you grew up in like the 70s and 80s, everybody's got photos of like their dad looking down because he's
hmm
just closed the back of the camera and turned it over and accidentally taken a shot of of his nose basically and his chin, because that's what you would do. You would close the camera and then sort of fire a couple of shots off to get the film moving, so you'd get a shot like just of your dad from the waist up.
I
It's
actually
really funny.
really like that. How that's a running theme and almost a core memory for a lot of people.
Never again, sadly, but it was a time. Thank you so much for sharing this and for allowing me to run with it and take it and share it with other people. I think it's a super cool thing. And I will, when I do the newsletter for this, of course, I will tag you in all the right places. And
Oh, amazing! Thank you.
yeah, no.
I think I'm also going to pop this on your radar. I've not said this publicly yet,
Mm,
but I have another project idea, um, which is a photograph spanning, I believe, 150 to 200 years.
okay.
So it's a photograph of my great 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 granddad,
Wow.
and then his son, shot in the same spot. And I'm planning on taking my mum to this spot and trying to get a multi-generational project going. Only problem is we no longer own that house, so I'm going to have
Right.
to approach quite delicately.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have those photos, and I didn't know they existed until this past Christmas, and it just kind of sprung the idea of my mum has never visited where her mother grew up. And I think having her photo taken in the spot where her family spent so much of their time would be just beautiful, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
will,
wow.
yeah, fingers crossed that can happen. But
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to talk to you again if that does. And if you've ever got anything that you want to kind of have a chat about on the show or whatever, like ping me over, and if I can fit it in, and whether it's in a newsletter or whatever, because I love to kind of promote the work of people I like, and that's why I reached out to
absolutely.
you.
No, thank you. Truly, it has been an honor. I
Oh,
was incredibly flattered when you dropped me a message, and apologies again for being so delayed.
oh no.
Gosh, this past week, I've just found out that I've got a whole nother magazine that I have to write. So that's
Right.
3 magazines now.
I hope you like your keyboard as much as you like your camera.
Oh, I mean, I wish. I do. I love the process in a different way because I used to
Yeah.
work in film.
Mm,
And that was part of the reason why I left, shooting film, because it wasn't a joy for me anymore.
right.
It became a job.
Yeah.
But since leaving that career and finding another creative outlet for work, it's really
Yeah.
helped foster my relationship with shooting film again.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. I'm glad. It's funny. I feel because I quit my job at the end of June and started doing this full time. Did summer holidays with the kids and all the rest of it, but started doing this, and I feel very, very lucky that I started doing this. But what was funny was I was talking to a mate who I was at uni with, and so this is 25 years ago, and was chatting to him about doing this, and he was just like, "Yeah, I always thought you should be doing something like that." And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, nice. Okay. Turns out I was doing it wrong potentially for a long time. I'm certainly a lot happier. I have no money. Like I've got to figure out that side of
Oh
it.
gosh, yeah.
But that's, I think,
Yeah.
being creative and being being an artist to some extent, is it can be a bit
Well,
hard,
that's
can't it?
exactly it. I mean, I living in London, no money. It was a fun and stressful time in my
Yeah.
life, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
No.
And it's quite sweet to hear that your friend, despite being 2.5 decades ago,
Yeah.
still thought that you would be doing something like this, and how you've come full circle. It
Yeah.
kind of just goes to show that there's never an expiry date on doing things that are true to you.
Absolutely. God, there's the quote. Wow. Put that on the poster. Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. This was brilliant.
It's been wonderful. Thank you. You've been incredibly kind, and I really look forward to speaking with you again.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right. Good luck with the project and have a lovely rest of the day.
Thank you very, very much. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
There you go. Wasn't that good? She's great. I'm really excited about that project she's working on. So I think we all need to have a look at Hannah's Instagram and then write our own love letters to our cameras and say why we like them. And because I think it could be a fun practice to do in terms of understanding why you like the tools you use. Maybe you've got too many cameras and you're looking to get rid, and maybe this helps you to kind of rationalize and think about it, or maybe this helps to justify keeping all of them. My one true love camera, I can sit down and wax lyrical about for hours as to why I think that's the one to keep. But yeah, however it works for you, I think it'd be fun. And if you want to send them to me or share them with other listeners, post them online, please do. I think it'd be super, super fun. Now, finally, to round out this midweek episode, I wanted to talk briefly about the photo walks that are happening in September as part of the Photo app organised worldwide photo walk, which is taking place pretty much universally on the 27th of September this year. There are, I think, 15 countries listed. There's multiple ones in the UK and the US and parts of Asia and just Turkey. It's all over the place. Paris. So please do go to photoapp.co and find out more about walks nearby. There's a link at the top there to walks, and I'll put a link in the show notes for this episode as well and on the website so that people can go and have a look. I'm hosting a walk in Inverness. That'll set off from the centre of town in Scotland in Inverness from the unicorn statue at 10 a.m. if you want to come by. But like I say, walks are taking place all over the place, and I encourage you to go and spend a couple of hours meeting other local photographers, making pictures, and maybe even making some friends along the way. There we go. Right, that'll do for this mid-week update. I hope you're having a fantastic week and that the summer is treating you well, or at least the Northern Hemisphere summer, and that maybe you're coming out of winter if you're in the south. Have fun, everyone. Take care.